Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Developer Maroof. In lesson 5, we'll learn about control flow in JavaScript. Control flow lets our program make decisions and run different code based on conditions. We will learn about if-else statement, if statement, else if, and else statement. These are the building blocks for making your code smart and interactive. So let's start coding. I've already created index.html file and I have linked my JavaScript file with it. So let's not waste our time and dive into the JavaScript. So let's start with the simplest form, a basic if statement. So let's first add a comment. Basic if statement. I'll create a variable called age is equals to 18. Now I'll write if parenthesis. Inside these parentheses we should add our variable age. Let's say greater than or equals to 18. Then add curly braces. Inside these curly braces I'll add a log which will say you are an adult. Okay, this code checks if age is 18 or more. This if will be true, then it will run the code inside these curly braces. If this statement is false, it will do nothing. It will not run this code. So if we see the log, let's first see this, and you can see here we got our log message, you are an adult, because age is 18 here. So now age is equals to 18. So this is true, that's why we can see our log. If we make it 17, we will not see our log here. You can see, because now this statement is false, so this block of code will not run. Now let's add an else clause. Let's say if else statement. So this if else statement, this else will give us an alternative action when the condition is false. I'll create a variable called user age is equals to 15 and write if parenthesis user age greater than or equals to 18, then curly braces. Inside this we can have a log saying you can vote. Then after this curly braces we should have else and then curly braces, and let's add a log here, you cannot vote. So now the condition if this if condition is true, it will show this log, this block of code, whatever we put inside this curly braces. And if this condition is false, then it will show me this block of code, this log, you cannot vote. So this is basically a fallback code. If this is true, it will say you can vote. If this is false, it will say you cannot vote. So if we see now in the console, you can see you cannot vote because this statement is false. User age is 15 and 15 is not greater than or equals to 18. So this condition is false. That's why we are getting this log, this else log. If we make it 18 or 19, we can see you can vote. Now this condition is true, that's why we are seeing this log, and this block of code will be ignored. And sometimes we need to check multiple conditions. That's where else if comes in. Let's see this. If else if statement. So now I'll create a variable called score is equals to 85 and write if in parenthesis is score greater than or equals to 90. If this statement is true, we should see a log saying grade A. If this is not true, it will go on, and let's say else if score is greater than or equals to 80, we will get a log grade B. And else if, you can put as many as condition with the else if statement. Greater than 70, then we will get grade C. Else if score is 60, then we will get grade D. And finally else if no condition is true, then we will run this code, log grade F. So in this code, JavaScript checks each condition from top to bottom. When it finds a true condition, it returns that block and stop checking rest of them. So let's see our log. We have grade B because this condition is true. That's why we are getting this log and ignored all the other logs as well. So what JavaScript is doing is our score is 85. So first it runs this if block. It is 85. So 85 is not greater than or equals to 90. So this condition fails. So it skipped this code and coming into else if. Then it is checking if this condition is true. 85 is greater than 80. So this is true, that's why it is getting us this block of code, this log, which we are getting in the console, and it is ignoring all the other logs. If we make it 0, then you can see we are having grade F, which is this block, because no other condition matches the statement. All the condition are false, that's why we are getting this else. I think you get this one as well. We can also combine multiple conditions using logical operators, which we have covered in lesson 4. Let me show you that. Multiple conditions. So I'll create two variables. Is logged in is equals to true, and const has permission is equals to true. So now we write if open parenthesis is logged in, and operator, we have already covered this and operator in our lesson 4, has permission curly braces, and we say log access granted, and else access denied. So right now, if this statement is true, we will get access granted. You can see here we are getting this log because is login is true and has permission is true. So this AND operator requires both or multiple conditions to be true to get the result of true. So that's why we are getting this log. If we make any of it false, we will get access denied. You can see here because now this condition is false. So that's why we are falling back to this block of code. We can also put if statement inside other if statement. This is called nesting. Let me show you. Nested if statements. So I'll create const temperature is equals to 25 and another variable const is raining is equals to false. We will write if parenthesis temperature is greater than 20, then we will have log saying it is warm outside, and below this we can add nested if statement as well. Let's say if is raining, then we will get other log saying but it is raining, bring an umbrella. If it is not raining, then we can say else log perfect weather for a walk. And if temperature is not greater than 20, then we can say else log it is cold outside. So nested if statements let us check conditions inside other conditions. You can see here, first it will check if the temperature is greater than 20. If this is true, this condition statement is true, then we will run this block of code and it will get this log first. Then it will check this condition. If is running is true, then it will get us this log. If this is false, we will get this log. And if this condition is false, then it will not run any of this code and switch to this else statement, and it will get it is called outside. Let's see our console. Let's comment these out to see our log clearly. Okay, now you can see we have our first log, it is warm outside, which is this because this condition is true. And the second log we have is perfect weather for a walk, which is this one because this condition is false. If is running is false, then it is switching back to this else statement, which we are showing here, this log. If we make is running true, then we will get this log. You can see here, if we make this temperature to 10, then if statement is false, it will get us this block of code. Because this statement is false, it will not run this code. We are getting it is cold outside. So I hope you have understood this nested if statement pattern. That's it for today's lesson. You just learned how to control the flow of your programs using if, and else statements. These statements let your code make decisions and run different code based on conditions. Practice with these examples and try creating your own conditions, because without practice you will not understand or remember these logics. So do try your own. So in the next lesson we will learn about switch statements and the ternary operator, which are alternative way to handle multiple conditions like we did in our current lesson, if else statements. So if this helped you, like the video, subscribe and share it with your friends. Jazakallah khair for watching. Allah Hafiz.